Hello, I am Manjunath MN, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Government First Aid College, Kolar. Today, I am going to explain the histology of the mammalian testes. So, I will share the screen. So, this is the longitudinal section of the testes, mammalian testes. So, clearly observe the section of the human testes. So, the testis is covered by the tunica vaginalis. It consists of two layers, the parietal layer and the visceral layer. In between these two layers, there is a cavity. Okay. And inside this testis tunica vaginalis, a capsule is there. And major portion of the testis consists of seminiferous tubules. And this is the rete testis. And these are the apparent ductules. And this is the epididymis. Okay. And this is the head of the epididymis, and this is the body of the epididymis, and this is this tail of the epididymis. Okay. When come to the histology, the testes are a source of gametes and steroid or sex hormones. Means testis produces gametes, that is sperms, male gametes, and male hormones. So they are steroid hormones. And these testes are encapsulated by the fibrous connective tissue. This is the fibrous connective tissue called as the tunica albuginea. Okay, tunica albuginea and tunica vasculosa. Septa extending inward from the tunica albuginea. This septa extending from the tunica albuginea made a partition the gland into lobules. This made the testes into lobules. The bulk of the gland, this testes is composed of the seminiferous tubules in which sperms are developed. The testicular duct system composed of the rete testis. The duct system consists of the rete testis and the ductus efferentialis and spermatozoa. So these spermatozoa enter the highly converted epididymis. Okay. And this is visible on the dorsal aspect of the testis. And spermatozoa are produced in the seminiferous tubules. So these are produced in the germinal epithelium. So this is the structure of the seminiferous tubules. When we take the transverse section of the seminiferous tubules, it looks like this. And this spermatozoa are produced in this germinal epithelium of the seminiferous tubules and released into the lumen of the ducts. The germinal epithelium, this germinal epithelium consists of both Sertoli cells, these are the Sertoli cells, the longer cells, these are the Sertoli cells, and these developing spermatocytes. The Sertoli cells extend from the basement membrane of the germinal epithelium to the lumen of the tubules. These are long, these extend from the basement membrane to the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. These cells envelop the these Sertoli cells envelop the developing sperm cells. The interstitial space contains this interstitial space, the space between the two seminiferous tubules. This is the interstitial space, contains clumps of darker eosinophilic cells. These are the Leydig cells. Okay, this interstitial space containing the Leydig cells, which produce and release the testosterone, that is the male hormone. And how the sperms are developed in the seminiferous tubules. The germinal epithelium rests on the basement membrane. This germinal epithelium, which rests on the basement membrane and surrounds the lumen where spermatozoa are released. The spermatogonia located in the basement membrane, the spermatogonia located in the basement membrane. Okay. So these cells appear round. These cells appear round and pale in color with prominent nucleoli. Sertoli cells. These are Sertoli cells with their characteristics oval-shaped nuclei. Characteristics oval-shaped, like egg-shaped nuclei. These provide supporting to the developing spermatocytes. The Sertoli cells provide support to the developing spermatocytes, which have large granulated nuclei. These cells containing the oval-shaped nuclei, which are granulated, that are preparing for the first meiotic division. The products of the meiosis are the haploid spermatids. The meiotids undergoes, these spermatids undergoes meiosis. Okay. The spermatogonia undergoes meiosis, produce the haploid spermatids, which contain dark round nuclei and a decreasing amount of cytoplasm. These differentiate further into spermatozoa. These spermatids differentiate further into spermatozoa. And next, Leydig cells, which are present in the interstitial cells. They are also called as interstitial cells or Leydig cells, which are located in the connective tissue that are surrounding the seminiferous tubules. The Leydig cells are large cells with ovoid nucleus, and it is polygonal in shape. The nucleus is large and eccentric in position. The nucleus is large and eccentric in position, means just away from the center. They produce testosterone, the male sex hormone responsible for the growth and maintenance of the cells of the germinal epithelium and the development of the secondary sex characters. The Sertoli cells are located in the germinal epithelium. These Sertoli cells are located in the germinal epithelium and play a supportive role in the developing spermatozoa. These cells have abundant cytoplasm, huge amount of cytoplasm, and extend from the basement membrane, to the lumen. Sertoli cells have a characteristics oval nucleus. Sertoli cells have a characteristics oval nucleus with a dark nucleolus. Then come to the rete testis. The rete testis connects the seminiferous tubules to the ductus efferentis. Okay, this rete testis which connect the seminiferous tubules to the ductus efferentis. It is lined by the ciliated cuboidal epithelial cells that also contain microvilli. The activity of this cilia, okay, the activity of the cilia in the rete testis, which helps to remove the spermatozoa along the tube as they are immobile. The spermatozoa are immobile, so they help the cilia, which help to the move into the epididymis, and there the sperms will reach. Ductuli efferentis emerge from the dorsosuperior margin of each testis. They originate from the rete testis. And gradually fuse to form. Ductus epididymis. Okay, this rete testis connect the ductus efferentis. These ductus efferentis once again fuse to form ductus epididymis. Then come to the structure of the sperm. The mature sperm is a microscopic in structure, and it is tadpole-shaped cell. It consists of an oval head. A cylindrical body having a neck and a body piece and an elongated tail. The end consists of a nucleus. This is the nucleus, which has a haploid number of chromosomes and an acrosome which containing hydrolytic enzymes. So these hydrolytic enzymes helps to break down the membrane of the Graafian follicle, okay, or ovum, not Graafian follicle or the ovum. The acrosome is involved in the penetration of the layer of sperm cells surrounding the egg immediately before fertilization. The short neck consists of a centrioles, a pair of centrioles at right angles to each other. The both are in right angle to each other. The middle piece is elongated. The middle piece is elongated, composed of many number of mitochondria. Mitochondria carry out the aerobic respiration and produce ATP, which help in the movement of the sperm. The tail is several times longer than the head. The tail is several times longer than the head and contains cytoplasm. Okay, to move the sperm, the action of the tail is very essential, so that it is very, very long compared to the head. The tail also has two parts. One is main piece and an end piece. The main piece has a covering of cytoplasm, and the end piece consists of naked filament, only naked filament, but lacks the cytoplasm. Okay, so this is about the structure of sperm. Okay, thank you very much.